morning and welcome as we are wrapping up the 12th annual Press Democrat North Coast Wine Challenge. It's been a very, very exciting morning, and I'm so excited to hear about all of the winners of the sweepstakes today. I'm Brandell McIntosh, Director of Events for the Press Democrat, and one of my favorite things is being able to invite all of these gold and double gold medal winning wines to our Press Democrat North Coast Wine and Food Festival that will be on June 15th this year. So we usually have about 90 to 100 wineries pouring. We have 20 chefs. We have a band. It is a great afternoon and really a chance to drink all of these award-winning North Coast AVA wines. So I'm really happy to be here with Daryl Groom, Chief Judge. Daryl?
Yes, Brandell. Well, talk about all those winning wines. I don't know whether people can hear the buzz in the room, but the judges are still back there all talking about what the winning wines were. And we'll have a lot of really great, diverse wines at the Food and Wine Festival. The judges did a fantastic job, I thought, today. I think it was 35% of the wines were awarded gold medals and I think 50% silver medals, which is a huge credit to all the winemakers out there and winery owners with the great job that they do. But before we go on and reveal the winners, I'm just going to interview a couple of our judges. And the first one, most people know we have an associate judge program. So we have one of our associate judges come over here, Bianca. This is Bianca Nicastro. Bianca lives in Hillsburg and has her own company called
Burgundy.
Yep.
Yes, Heels Burgundy.
And what do you do with that, with Hillsburg?
So Heels Burgundy is a business that I started where I curate private wine tastings and wine country experiences for my guests and people coming into the area. Just a cool way to showcase a lot of my favorite wineries and sort of what's hot and happening in Healdsburg with exclusive accessibility to restaurants and wineries alike, and pretty exciting.
So Bianca was an associate judge, not quite ready to be a judge yet, so she joined the associate judging program to gain some experience. So what was the experience like?
The experience was absolutely fantastic. It was really such an honor to be sitting next to so many incredible palates, so many talented, whether it's winemakers, sommeliers, wine buyers. It was a really exciting atmosphere and just so cool to expand my palate in so many different ways and figure out how to assess the wines quicker and build my own chart. And really, I learned so much. I feel so honored to have been invited. Thank you.
Was it hard to do 110 or 115 wines in a day?
It was definitely a challenge, but I feel like it was super rewarding and just such good training. And yeah, it was a really special experience.
Right. And any advice you want to give to young professionals in the industry that might want to come and have the same experience but might be scared to do so? Or?
Yes, I would say my advice for future judges in these wine competitions is just to go into the competition with a lot of humility and patience, and then just really learn from the people. And confidence helps. You know, you sort of get intimidated by the lineup, but if you just stay focused and just trust your own palate, I think that it can be really cool experiences for all these new judges, and I cannot wait to continue this journey. Sure.
Well, great. We really loved having you, and the feedback was you're not far off from being a judge. So, yeah, but thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Daryl.
See you. All right. And then we have Mick Schroeder. Mick Schroeder is one of our seasoned judges. Probably is a winemaking...
Seasoned, mature.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right here from the beginning with 12, with our 12th, you've been here the whole 12 years, and you're here because you judge in a lot of wine shows, you have the experience, you've made just practically every grape variety you can name, so you know all of the wines well. I know as a judge I can give you sort of any wines to judge. So tell me about the first day of the competition and what you thought of the wines that you got presented. And
I think firstly, with Bianca that just spoke to you, and then I judged with two young sommeliers, their first time judging, and it's really cool to see that vibrance and enthusiasm. They just love being here, they're focused, and they're just absorbing, all of the wines. But you mentioned about the amount of golds and silvers that were in the competition, and It is just truly amazing the caliber of the wines that we're producing here on the North Coast. To have so many wines that are gold and silvers, really it speaks to
fantastic.
What an incredible region for grape growing and winemaking we have here.
And it is. And the two young judges you had are sort of movers and shakers. You had Homer, the Solomon wine buyer from the Matheson, and Amanda from the Fountain Grove Club. And it was a good fun panel. I saw you smiling a lot.
Yeah, very fun.
So without revealing the winner, because we do that at the end, we had the sweepstakes this morning. We had 28 wines in front of us. Any surprises? I mean, you can name varieties and all of that, but was there any standouts or anything you thought?
Well, I think yesterday is obviously the work day, when we're going through 110, 120 wines. Today is the fun day when you really look at the best of the best and the cross-section of all those wines. But the thing that blew me away, and without revealing, just the diversity of the varietals and styles. And normally, as judges, we really hone in on the classic varieties, but there's some really incredible, unusual varieties that a lot of people wouldn't have had before. So I think at the Food and Wine Festival, the opportunity to taste not just great Pinots and Sauvignon Blancs and Chardonnays, but Vermentinos and blends and Italian varietals. It's going to be a really cool event.
Good. It was good to see a whole lot. We really enjoyed having you, and you'll see Mick at the Food and Wine Festival.
All right, thanks, Grooming.
I can give you a kiss too, fellow Aussie. Now we have another really well-known winemaker, a global winemaker, makes wines all over. Carrie Damsky probably doesn't need an introduction either. Kerry and I go back judging maybe 30 years ago in Riverside.
I've been a winemaker 48 years, and 40 of those years I think I've judged.
Right, yeah.
And so it's so much fun to be with, new lead judges, chief judges, and every judge is slightly different. I think, what I love is sitting down and just the first flight is always, you have to calibrate yourself.
Yeah.
And you always sort of wonder, and I've been doing this for, 40 years, do you have it, is your palate right? You don't want to be too rough. You want to, you are challenged to look for gold medals. And I was lucky enough to do Pinot Noir first flight. We're in Sonoma County.
Yep.
Some of the best Pinot Noirs of the world. And it was really easy to just jump right into it.
Right, yeah. And Pinots are the biggest class. And everyone does get excited about doing them. Kerry also had the added benefit that he had his son, Drew Dansky, who's a talented winemaker.
Indeed.
Our first time we've had father and son judging in the wine competition. Drew started as an associate maybe about 8 years ago, and now makes wine for a lot of us. So that was exciting. That was exciting.
And he's a great winemaker. And he didn't go to Davis.
No. And that's a good message. You don't have to.
You can become a great winemaker with good mentoring, with a good palate and passion. And you don't have to go to winemaking school, but we did.
That we did, yes. But that is a good message for people that want to get into the wine industry out there and become a winemaker. You can do it. So you talked about the first day's judging. What about the sweepstakes for you? Again, don't reveal the winner, but
you know what was interesting? Because when I look for sweepstakes, I sort of like to see a varietal when I'm not revealing. But what was interesting, which really rose to the top in both white categories and red categories, were blends.
Yeah.
And you and I have been winemakers forever. I'm a winemaker that loves to blend. I think that's the key to creating a profile of great flavors. And we saw two really good, wonderful blends in this sweepstakes.
Yes, absolutely we did. No, you didn't reveal that, but that was good to say. Kerry, thanks, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
He gets a kiss too. It's the Australian way. So, Brandell, you want to come back into the picture? So, in the sweepstakes round today, we got down to 28 wines. There were 2 sparkling, 7 white wines, 16 red wines, 2 rosés, and 1 dessert wine that became the best dessert wine. So we're going to reveal, first of all, Brandell, what was the #1 sparkling wine?
Right here.
So we have Scharfenberger Cellars, and it is from Mendocino County. And one of the really great things this year that we saw was the increase in Mendocino and Anderson Valley wines that actually made it to the sweepstakes round, which was refreshing to see. So that was the best sparkling wine. We then moved to the best white wine of the competition, and we got down to, I think, 3 or 4 white wines. There was a Vermentino, a Malone de Bourgogne, and a Sauvignon Blanc from a crowd favourite. Dry Creek Vineyards was there, and the judges all voted, and we narrowed down. And the eventual winner, no surprise in how they make fantastic wines, is Penny Royal. It's Pinot Trio, 2023 vintage, and it's a blend between, I think, Pinot Gris and Pinot Noir, and I can't quite read the back with my glove, and Pinot Blanc. So a fantastic wine there. And then we went on to, let's go on to the best rosé, and the best rosé is Imagery.
Estate.
And this is an Aleatico, and it is from 2023 vintage from, I think,
Sears Ranch.
yeah, in
Sonoma Valley.
In Sonoma Valley. I'm going to grab my glasses so I can read, so I can read the labels. All right, and then we went on to let's do the best red wine, which is this one, is the best red. And the best red wine, again, this got pretty fierce voting out of a Cabernet, a Pinot, and then there was this wine. But there were around about 4 wines that we sort of narrowed right down. I think a Malbec was in there as well. And the winning red wine was L'Astoria, Cuvée 32. And again, particularly as Kerry mentioned, the number of blends this year. And this is an Italian-style blend made up of Sangiovese, Merlot, and Montepulciano. So a really great wine, and that's from Alexander Valley. And then we went on to the best dessert wine, and the best dessert wine was from Black Magic from Carol Shelton, 2023 vintage from Sonoma County. The next thing that we do is we then pick the wines that are the best of counties, and we'll start with the best, what did you hold it? Yeah, so the best Solano County wine. Best Solano County wine was from Blue Victorian. It's a 2020 Sangiovese that really rocked, and the judges loved it. So that's the best Solano. We then have the best Lake County wine, and the best Lake County wine is from Brassfield Estate. It's a 2021 Grenache that got 97 points and was just really a stunning Grenache. And then we have the best Napa Valley wine, and
Looks like this is a Black Stallion Estate Winery, Collector Edition from Howell Mountain, a Cabernet.
And surprise, it's a Cabernet from Napa Valley as being the best. Another wine that went really well in the sweepstakes. We then have the best Mendocino wine, which happens to, again, be the Penny Royal white blend is the best Mendocino. And then we have the best Sonoma County wine was the L'Astoria from Alexander Valley, won the best of Sonoma County. And then we went on to vote the best of the best out of the best sparkling wine, the best white wine, the best red wine, the best dessert wine. It was, in the end, it was really close, but it became a crowd favourite. We happened to have the winemaker in the room, Miro, and the winning red wine, the best of the best this year, is L'Astoria 2021 red wine blend. It's the first time we've had a wine of this type to win the best of the best in the sweepstakes, so that's exciting. Normally it's a Pinot Noir or a Chardonnay, so it's really good to have a newcomer.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Food and Wine Festival. Let them know again.
Yeah,
June 15th.
NorthCoastWineandFood.com. I would get tickets now. It's for sure to sell out. We'll have about 90 to 100 wineries.
Yep.
About 25 local chefs, music. It is a great afternoon. And the opportunity to taste all of these wines, all of the gold and double gold medal winning wines from this competition. So it really is a festival like no other.
Yep, and you've got all the chefs there as well. And this year at 35% gold medal, I mean, you come there, you're going to be tasting 350, fantastic wines that have been culled by some really fantastic judges. But I just want to close off too, just to say to all the winemakers and all the wineries that entered the wine competition, thank you for doing that. Look, the buzz in the room is just unbelievable. The joy and the smiles on the judges' faces when they get to try the quality wines that you bring into the parcel. One of the real excitements for me was a veteran judge who's judged in more wine shows than ever, Dan Berger. Dan Berger's been judging for 60 years, and he was the first judge in the door, and he pulled me over to the panel yesterday if he was judging Grenaches, and the passion and excitement on his face of doing those wines. He was like a 6-year-old boy, just in a sandpit, loving everything that's going on around him. And he said, "Darryl, we've given 4 golds and 4 double golds," and he loved it. But that's the passion that we have in all of the judges, and Dan leads it with the inspiration.
Yeah,
so
and thanks to the judges for giving their time to volunteer to do this. So
it's a grueling task. Cheers, and thanks to the winners.